In a shocking turn of events, a local Norwegian man is proven to be right yet again. As a few months ago, I made a video about Trench Crusade, accusing the developers of being lazy, fake, and cynical, along with a fair few other allegations of immorality and greed. Accusations that are gaining more and more veracity for every day that goes by, but a particularly damning point emerged just the other day, as I was sent this from my friend Yanovich, thank you very much, sir, where Trench Crusade announces that there will be no major releases in STL or resin format in the future. For those of you who may not know, STLs are the computer models, the files that you need to 3D print your own models. And this, of course, as they mention here, was a huge part of the original Kickstarter. A big selling point of Trench Crusade was that it wasn't going to be like the other corporations. It wasn't going to be greedy, it was going to be for you, the community. And you could print your models for your own use. You could have them, you could modify them, you could do whatever you want. That is until, of course, the developers realized, holy shit, there's a lot of money to be earned here. And so now we're going to sell plastic box sets like everybody else with no STLs, of course. We could give you the STLs for the models, which would be easy enough to convert, but we have elected not to, as we adopt GW's business model, with troop boxes, elite boxes containing fewer models at a higher price, and the hero box, consisting of Uno model at 3 times the price, no doubt. Games Workshop would be proud of you, Trench Crusade, truly and honestly proud. But hey, you can't blame poor Trench Crusade for this. After all, the promises made of 3D models and STLs were made during the heady, olden days, lost in the midst of time, that were 2024. In fact, I don't even think a single year has actually fully lapsed since they made all of these haughty promises. So, if anyone actually fell for that, hook, line, and sinker, I'm sorry, you got played. And what else could possibly be, what else could possibly happening here? So, they mention also their community license, right? And, you know, here's the thing, to give the devil the due, they argue that because they're making plastic models, which is far more expensive, selling them by the box load is the only way they can make this go around. And hey, you know, theoretically, I absolutely agree, but that is something you do need to think about and talk about before you sell people promises of something else, only to turn around within a year and declare the exact opposite. So, the community license is being changed. We are still planning to move forward with our community license. It has been reworked to account for the success of the game, but the idea remains the same. Okay. So the community license is currently in the works, and it was intended to be, as they say here during the Kickstarter campaign, anyone can make content for Trench Crusade. That was the idea, where the point would be that if you simply make a World War I style model and you make it for free, they would not take any cut. Okay, cool, fair enough. If you make a model that is supposed to be compatible / you know, in the universe, they will need to check it and go like, okay, that looks like a Trench Crusade model, you can release it, so long as you do it for free again. But if you want to make it official and have people pay for it, then they will get a cut. Not the maddest thing in the world, but okay, what are you going to rework there? Because the only way I could see you reworking that is by cutting the for free parts, at least for compatible models, which again is precisely what GW is currently doing, as this seems perfectly fine to me, and yet they're now stating it's going to be reworked. In fact, this is a year to the day. Exactly a year they go, you know, all of those promises, well, times have changed. We have your money now, and we are no longer dependent upon your goodwill. Eat my ass. And Furthermore, too, okay, so you may need to notice here 3,644 comments. I talked about this in my larger video around the developers as well. What have they been doing whilst a lot of people haven't been getting their models? So they've been working on plastic models, and just in case you're wondering as well, no, they still haven't delivered everything. There is a comment from just 10 hours ago going, I think everything is in order, but I'm still not sure. Another comment, my order says that shipping paid with no extra information or email since. Another comment, again, 3,644 comments are basically an endless series of people going, you haven't actually given me the stuff I paid you money for. And this is after a year still, but they have found enough time to work on their plastic box sets. And try and take a guess as to who didn't have to wait for their models. That's right, the people who get them for free. Seriously, again, I've been trying to moderate myself when it comes to Crusade, going, if you want to support the developers, that's good. It's nice that they've a successful Kickstarter, etc., but we really do need to face facts here. These are bad people. They aren't making this game for you by any stretch of the imagination. They made sure to put out their plastic boxes before even the announcement of it. Before they even made it clear that they were going to remove STLs, they put out the PR push first. And again, these guys didn't have to wait for their models, unlike the paying customer. Listen, Crusade are bad people. No matter what concessions they may make in the community licenses, it is only a question of time until they withdraw them. Any sign of goodwill or good faith that comes from these developers is, I tell you now, exclusively a temporary measure to gain your trust and as much of your money as possible before cashing in on it. That is simply what appears to be going on here. And until Crusade starts doing something that actually contradicts that stance, that is the reality of the situation. It is a company that is more than happy to break its promises, that is more than happy to change its entire proclaimed business model in order to earn more money, as that is the only conceivable purpose for this. If the developers truly were, as they themselves claimed so proudly, oh, they were just going to make a cool game, you know? And if people are interested, well, they'll make some other cool models, etc. Why would they do this? Why? Oh, because making plastic models are more expensive? Okay, but you're the ones who chose to make those plastic models. And of course, they also admit that, this will have nowhere near as much customization, that are going to be much harder to kit bash, etc. But guess what? If you want to kit bash, well, don't worry about it. You can always simply just, buy more boxes. Yeah, you can do what GW asks you to do. You can buy 2 models to make 1. Wow, isn't that just fantastic? Truly, this is a company for the community right here. No doubt about it. None whatsoever. Crusade. I do wish to be quite smarmy about this, but listen, if it's too good to be true, more often than not, unless you're dealing with people with actually proven track records in doing what they say they're going to do, it's probably actually too good to be true. But hey, at least the models that already exist will still remain. That's nice. Granted, they're deeply flawed, as I've already done a video on, but hey, at least they're not taking them away. And you can still play games of Crusade with your own models if you so choose. Give it a year, and we'll see what happens to that rule. As I remind you, GW's rules, of course, is only using official models at tournaments and events. Oh, Crusade developer would They'd never do that, right? Just like they'd never move away from one of their primary sales pitches in their Kickstarter eons ago, the distant dark past of 2024. Until next time, I've been Arch. Thank you very much for watching, and fuck Trench Crusade.